right, let's get into it. So on this screen, I have the data from a global company that is using multiple clouds, multiple cloud services, and on-prem, and they want to have a data fabric that spans all of those and supports automation, supports optimization, and supports integrating this data fabric to the rest of their operations. So let's start. What I'm seeing here is something that we've discovered. And the way that we discover things for your fabric is by two things: linking it to your account in NetApp, obviously getting all of your NetApp information from things like ActiveIQ and Cloud Insights, but also accepting your cloud credentials so that we can pull information from other services and data sources that we want to have in your fabric. We don't just discover things that you already have, but we also then start to work on discovering what you can optimize. So this lightning bolt here is an interesting thing. This is actually an opportunity in your data fabric to make it better. Another view of the same thing would be a map view. And in the map view, it automatically shows me that this opportunity is a 20 terabyte of reclaimable cold data space that you can immediately start tiering by using NetApp's cloud tiering service. So fabric policies, they actually search for labels, they search for conditions that are happening in your data fabric. And by doing that, they are able to automate what we call fabric flows or workflows. So I'll just go ahead and create one here. I'll give it the same type of label, and then I'll set the conditions. So the condition is going to be a label is environment production, and actually in the space Initech. So this fictional company here, Initech, has a couple of spaces, and I'll go into that a little bit more detail later. But now that I've set these two conditions, I can actually evaluate them. And by clicking evaluate, I see, okay, I've got 18 things that match. That sounds right. And now I can set the pre and post policy action on those. And setting an action basically just means picking a fabric flow. So here I'm gonna pick a fabric flow. I can actually see how it looks, see what it does. It's gonna snapshot the volumes, whether it's an application or just regular volumes, and it's going to set a backup schedule on those elements. Simple. Then I just save and enable the policy, and I'm done. Now if I go back to my discovery view, I can actually see that my application is now protected. And what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at snapshots. Look at that. It's already created snapshots for my application here in Boulder. And if I take a look at the volumes, it's actually protected all of the volumes that have this label right now across my whole data fabric. So now I actually want to do one more thing. I want to integrate something with my data fabric. So I've done the opposite. I've integrated things into my data fabric and orchestrated them there, but now I want to go and create a workflow. Here's actually the flow that my policy just ran. But I want to go into my library of workflows, and I want to be able to hand over control or delegate the running of this particular workflow here. Label all cold volumes. And how do we do that? Well, we've invented something called the easy button. So you click Get Easy button, and you're presented with this view where you can actually export the functionality of an easy button, start, stop, pause, and get status, very, very easily. I can do an HTML one, I could do Terraform, Ansible. I'm gonna do a curl. I'm gonna just use a command line. So I'm gonna run this fabric flow by running it in command line. So copy this, go over to the command line, paste it there, run it, and it's done. Flow response says successfully started the flow, label all cold volumes. And then I might go back and then take a look at the fabric discovery view again. And let's take a look at my volumes. What do you know? One of these volumes now has the label hotness equals cold. And that's how you can start to have the fabric take care of itself. So just to recap, I've shown you how to discover things. Things are activated in the data fabric. I've shown you how to automate things. I've shown you how the Fabric itself can tell you how to optimize it and optimize it for you even. And then lastly, I've shown you how you can integrate this with other systems. And that's really scratching the surface of the power of this new service from NetApp.